You know, folks, I have honestly lost count at the number of videos that I've made talking about Donald Trump and his blatant disrespect of the military. I've never in my life seen anyone in a major political party, I've never seen anyone anywhere be so blatantly over the top disrespectful to our troops and to people who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country. I've never seen it. And I've never seen someone do that and lead a political party. And I never dreamed that that person would lead the Republican Party, because back during the Iraq War, I was very outspoken against the Iraq War. And I got told by Republicans that I was unpatriotic, that I didn't love my country, and that I didn't support the troops. And I would always say, hold on a minute, I absolutely support the troops. I just don't think they should be in this war. But I was told that I wasn't patriotic, didn't love or support the troops, which was not true. And that's how it once upon a time was, that I was being disrespectful to them because I disagreed with the war, is how the Republicans used to be. And they used to say that we needed to go into the Middle East to remove a dictator and to put democracy in the Middle East. Now they sit back while their front runner and leader of their party praises dictators and is against democracy, and they themselves have told me that they're against it too. So the times have drastically changed. And just when you think, I know for a fact that if I went back and collected all the videos I've made about Trump and his disrespect to the service, I know at some point in those videos I've always said, well, I can't believe he stooped this low, because I thought the John McCain comments should have been the end of it, but I can't believe he stooped this low, but he'll always go lower. And in this next story I'm going to read to you from Midas Touch, J.D. Wolf wrote this one, he goes lower. I can't believe that I'm actually reading this headline out loud to you in 2024. But here it is. Trump accepts second Purple Heart Award for assassination attempt. This is truly one of the most disgusting articles I have ever read in my life. Well, first we're going to take a look at this clip here. This is a veteran who earned the Purple Heart, and he is giving it to Trump because of what happened in Butler. Folks, take a look at this.
Sergeant John Ford and his daughter Laura.
President Trump, sir, I brought you a Purple Heart. I want to present you for your big injuries. What a great job you've done for our country. But I would like for you to have that, sir. It has my name on the back.
Is that yours? Is it your?
Yes, sir. It has my name on the back.
That's fantastic. I want to put on my seat. Okay.
And Trump posted that to Truth Social and said, a great hero, thank you, such an honor. But let's read this article from J.D. Wolf, Midas Touch Network. During a turning point event for Trump on Wednesday, the GOP nominee accepted a second Purple Heart Award for the assassination attempt against him in Butler, Pennsylvania. The Purple Heart is awarded for military service members and select others who were wounded by an enemy in a combat situation, and traces its origins back to George Washington. Before we keep going, I would like to point out that Donald Trump was nicked in the ear by someone who was a supporter. It wasn't they, it wasn't the Democrats, it wasn't anyone like that. Joe Biden didn't send anybody. It wasn't the enemy, it was one of Trump's own. But let's keep reading this. Trump posted the video of himself receiving the award to his Truth Social account, along with a message thanking the supporter who gave him the unearned honor. Trump could have politely declined the award, but he didn't. His choice to accept it speaks volumes. I absolutely agree. Trump has previously expressed that he wanted a Purple Heart. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was absolutely pathetic.
And he said, that's my real Purple Heart. I have such confidence in you. And I said, man, that's like big stuff. I always wanted to get the Purple Heart. This was much easier.
Yeah. So people who have earned them have gave them to him, and he says that's much easier. It would have made way more sense to me if he had have handed it back to them and said, listen, you earned this, not me. But instead he said, oh, I've always wanted this. This is so much easier. It speaks volume to the type of man that Donald Trump truly is. Trump believes he is worthy to receive such an award and doesn't mind taking it from veterans who actually earned it. Trump himself avoided conflict in Vietnam due to bone spurs, a condition that the daughters of Trump's own doctors said their dad made up as a favor to Fred Trump to help keep his son from the war. Trump also received a Purple Heart during a campaign this month in North Carolina. Not only did Trump reportedly avoid conflict with a fake diagnosis, he also called soldiers suckers and losers, according to General John Kelly. So again, if you think Donald Trump cannot stoop lower and be any more disrespectful to the military, always remember he absolutely can and he will. And always remember that his followers will somehow find a way to condone this. Folks, I didn't serve in the military, okay? I've never served a day in my life. But I've always had the utmost respect for it. And there are times when people on my side of the aisle have said things that I've said, no, listen, I'm not going there. I'm not saying that. I remember back when John McCain ran, there was an article, I'm not exactly sure what magazine, so I don't want to say, but I remember reading a left-leaning magazine that put out an article about how that John McCain was negligent, that he had made a lot of mistakes, and that it was his fault that he got captured. And I remember a lot of my progressive friends sharing that article, and I was like, I'm not going there. I'm not doing that because I didn't serve this country. I don't know what it's like to be in that kind of situation. And besides, whether he was negligent or not is really beside the point. The point is this man was tortured for his country. He endured that for his country. And Donald Trump said that he preferred soldiers who didn't get caught. That John McCain was not a hero because he got caught. He said he's only a hero because he got caught, and I like soldiers who didn't get caught. And I really thought that should have been the end of Donald Trump's political career, and I would have swore that it would have been, considering all the arguments that I used to have during the Bush years when I was arguing against the Iraq War. I can't imagine what a Republican would have said to me if I had have said the words, they're suckers and losers. I never said that. I just said that I didn't like the war that they were put in. I can't imagine what would happen if I said I prefer prisoners who didn't get caught. I prefer soldiers who didn't get caught. I can't imagine what Republicans would have said to me back then. And I also remember a time that Republicans, said that I wasn't patriotic because I didn't vote for John McCain. I remember a time when they were like, well, hey, that man served his country. You should vote for him for that reason alone. And I was like, well, listen, I respect the fact that he served his country. I would never knock his military service, but I don't agree with him on policies. I agree with Barack Obama. I just simply disagreed with the man. It had nothing to do with his military service. Those same people. Now, you can read them this article. You can show it to them. You can say, there's another one. And they're okay with it. They're perfectly okay with it. Donald Trump has never earned anything. He has never earned a Purple Heart. And what they do, hand him a certificate for working at McDonald's, the little fake photo op that he did. This man has never earned anything in his life. And the fact that he would take that is absolutely ridiculous. And you got to think about the fact that they're going around saying they are trying to kill Trump. No, it's not they. It's not they. It's his disgruntled people. And to anyone out there that says the temperature needs to be turned down in the room, take that up with Donald Trump, because he is the one who turned it up. Okay? Just because we're over here saying, hey, he's quoting dictators, that's not us turning up the temperature. That's us pointing out the obvious. Just because we're over here saying this man has disrespected the military time and time again, just because we're over here saying that this guy is saying that he will turn the American military on people he disagrees with, that's not us turning up the heat. That's us showing you him say it. That's us bringing the receipt and saying, look, right here it is. This is where he said this. Here's all the proof. And here's all the evidence you need. And they go, no, that's not what he meant. In the video I did about Mike Johnson, what did Mike Johnson say? Oh, no, I didn't hear him say that. They didn't hear him say that because they heard him say it. They just ain't got the guts to stand up to him. They do not have the guts to stand up to him. They're going to stand up for him because they want to keep their positions of power. So they're going to sit there and completely sell out everything they ever believed in. I understand. I do understand the people who he appealed to and who decided that they wanted him because he's a scapegoat to them. He gives them a permission slip to be cruel, and they love him for it. But to the Republicans who ran on morals and values, and to the ministers who raised me, to the ministers I sat under as a kid who are now full-blown behind Donald Trump, those are the people that I really thought would come to bat for common sense and for decency and for morals and for values, because they sure spent plenty of time talking to us about it. They sure made me feel guilty for playing music. I used to get told I was going to hell for playing the devil's music. I was out here playing in the bars, boy, you playing the devil's music. You're out there encouraging people. They used to say, you're encouraging people to drink. You're encouraging people to dance. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, I sure am. I'm encouraging people to drink and dance and get away from the extreme fascism that you've been shoving down their throat since they were a kid. So if they can come in here and wipe the stench that they have on themselves from your church, if they can wipe that off in this bar, then welcome to the Mustang Lounge, boys. Let's party. I will never in my lifetime forgive those people. I won't. Honestly, when it comes to forgiveness, I have a hard time with it because I can't forget. I really have a hard time with that because I can't forget. And look, folks, I can forgive people for a whole lot of things and move past certain things, but I am never going to move past what Donald Trump did to the American church, to our government, to our institutions, and to American democracy. There will be no forgiveness from Brando. If there's a God in the sky and I stand before him, sorry, buddy, I could not give that dude a pass for that one. And no one should. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in every day and listening to what it is I have to say. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. And if you haven't already, be sure to leave a blue heart for the vets who have been disrespected by Donald Trump. And I don't know, folks. It's really hard for me to talk about these things and not just completely go off on one of the most insane cussing fits ever, because I do have respect for the military and Donald Trump don't, and it makes me sick to my stomach.